Are you ready?
2 minutes left. Left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts
right here, right
This
now.
is a message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
Regulators. You regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Regulators, mount up.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets, trying to consume some skirts for the eve, so I could get some phones, rolling in my ride, chilling all alone.
Hit the east side of the LBC. Hey, look. All right, let me turn it down real quick because y'all know I'm watching us live on the big screen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Hog HQ Live, brought to you by the Hog Talk Podcast. This is episode 39. And as always, the motto is tell a friend that we are back again. Look, Jericho Clark. Shout out to Jericho Clark. Jericho was in here first today. Shout out to Jericho Clark with the hashtag, with the saying, tell a friend. Brad Stanton, as usual, watching us from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Shout out to Brad watching us. Logan, there you go. With that being said, I ain't started that one yet. But just know that it's coming. Just know that it's coming. All right, Logan. So check it. All right, guys. Another episode. This gentleman right here, this is Adam. And this gentleman right here, this is Hart. And this is DP. So look, we're going to do this again, man. This is first week. All right, we're done with summer sessions. We are officially into the season. Game 1 has been done. We're going to jump straight into some football, guys. And tonight we're going to start with some clips, talk about some SEC roundup. So first of all, look at the screen. You can clearly see we got some SEC scores being played. So number 1, Georgia defeated Clemson 34-3.
Clemson, I mean, at least they got Chad Morris off their staff, but, it looks like he's still there.
What the thing about it is, he's staying strong about NIL and transfer portal and
it's
all that.
It's going to be his downfall.
And you can see it on the field. I mean, it's not the same type of caliber player. Of course, Georgia is loaded 3 deep in regards to talent, even with the transfer portal being done. So we know how that goes. Texas, and it's hard to see Texas on the SEC network recaps. And as you say, Adam, see the SEC logo on their field, but they put in work and took care of Colorado State 52-3. Young Manning. Young Manning got a chance to get in the game, so everybody was looking forward to seeing that. See, he got a little swag about himself. What you think about it, Matt?
Yeah, they got a nice situation there at quarterback because he would be starting on virtually any other school in the nation. So it's tough knowing that if you knock out their starting quarterback, the backup may be as good, if not maybe a little better.
Absolutely. Bama, yeah, 63-0.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. Well, I can't say I'm surprised because the new head coach, Alabama's still Alabama. They still have the talent. Their coach obviously was on a previous team that could put up points. So, it's one of those things that it's not surprising. It's weird to see.
Yeah.
And if you didn't watch a College Game Day, Nick Saban sitting next to Pat McAfee is hilarious.
Hilarious, bro.
So whatever you think about Pat McAfee, watching them two together, it's oil and water, but it is awesome.
Awesome TV. We had OU. Who? That's Ole Miss. Damn. Ole Miss. Ole Miss. See, now this is the one thing I watch the scores on the ticker as I watch, the recaps of the game, and I said because we put up 70, somebody's gonna try to outdo us. So who would it be other than Lane Kiffin that gets 76 points? Like, why would you get to the point and still keep trying to throw the ball? But
I didn't look and see though on theirs. I'll pull it up as we're sitting here talking. Did they punt any? Did they score on every drive? Because I mean that's a big part of it too. Yeah, we put up 70, but we also completed every third down. Didn't punt, so there was more to it than.
All right, we had number 11 Mizzou 51-0. I was interested to see what they would come out and do. I won't even talk about the opponent because the game is a game and you got to play who's ever on your schedule. But for them to put up 51 points, just shows that they do have some talent on their roster beyond what we've seen last year and the guys who left. So that was that. We currently got LSU playing USC that's on right now. So we'll see how that's determined.
Some of y'all watching it.
Yeah, some of y'all watching it. Yeah, Tennessee 69-3 Chattanooga. I like to see what's his name, Nico. I won't even try to pronounce his last name. But I've been interested to see him for the past year or so. So
I watched a video clip last night because they said his name in the beginning, and I watched it 4 times in a row on how they pronounced it, and I've already forgot it.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
it's different when we heard Tua's last night. It's a little bit. Tongue twister for
at
real.
least with Florida State, they can just call their quarterback DJU.
Ukulele. That's what I call him because that motherfucker
that
trash.
works too.
That motherfucker trash. All right, OU 51-3 against Temple. Once again, interested to see them in the SEC. Florida 17 versus the Canes 41. Now that one, everybody was talking about that game, but I knew looking at the portal and looking at Miami's offensive line class last year, they had a chance, and they got some dudes with Cam Ward at quarterback.
Not to cut you off, but one of the videos I do have is from that press conference. That's the coach I was talking about earlier. Not only did Brad Napier lose the game, he lost in the press conference to a water bottle. If y'all would,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, given the experience and how confident you were in this team going into the season, just how disappointing and surprising was this performance?
Yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing, to be quite honest with you. Yep, that's how I feel. That's how our kids feel. And we've got a decision to make. I think we have. That's what I just.
So you got your ass whooped on the field and in the presser by a damn water bottle. Jamie Tidwell, I see you in here tonight. Jamie Tidwell with the hashtag Let's Be Clear. Enjoy the weekend. Absolutely, Mr. Tidwell. Appreciate you for joining on with us tonight. I know usually you be at work, so thank you for joining us and watching us. Florida Miami Bowl, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Look, I told you. Notre Dame is hyped up every year, but Texas A&M got some problems, and their quarterback is garbage. That's gonna be the downfall. Yeah, he is garbage. So it was interesting when we played him, and he got some mop-up duty and did what he had to do. At the same time, I just look at it and say they're just not the team they need to be, and I don't feel sorry for them. I just hope that by the time that we play them, they're still looking like they look against Notre Dame, and I'll be fine with that.
And so Max Johnson used to be their quarterback, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because he went to North Carolina, and he was taken out leg injury and is going to miss the season. Damn. So now Jacoby Criswell may get his chance finally.
Shout out to
Because,
Jacoby Criswell.
he didn't get that starting position. So
I told him he should have moved to tight end if he stayed at Arkansas because he was not going to be the starter. All right, Mississippi State, 56-7. I was not expecting Mississippi State to put up 56 points. They've been going through some transition for the past couple of years with the passing of their coach, and then the interim coach being a defensive guy, and now they're going to almost like a veer, a run and shoot type offense. So they're able to really spread the guys out and really make it happen. So shout out to Mississippi State. Hopefully they won't continue this by the time we see them. And I know it was against that opponent. I got to watch them because I want to see what that offensive line looks like with Cody Kennedy in place as the offensive line coach of Mississippi State. Vanderbilt, 34-17 against Virginia Tech.
What?
That was a great victory. That was a great victory, dog. No lie. I
think everybody was excited everybody was genuinely happy that Vanderbilt didn't screw the pooch.
Right.
Because now you can look at the other schools and laugh at Vanderbilt can look at A&M in Florida and be like, what, y'all couldn't win?
Exactly. And I forgot who they play next week, but it's a reasonable game for them to win. It's almost like watching Vanderbilt this past week was kind of like watching Georgia Tech and being here in Atlanta. I watched Georgia Tech. Most people watch Georgia Tech play Florida State and win. And then Georgia Tech played Georgia State and won that game too. So I'm like, maybe Vanderbilt can go 2-0. Let's just see what they do. Auburn 73 against Alabama A&M 3. I know they got some nice receivers. They got a nice receiving class that came in. And I know they got an explosive offense. So we'll see what happens with Auburn. It's going to be interesting just to see what their season looks like as a transition with their running game too and their defense. Who the hell is that?
Kentucky.
Why would you put Ken on there? It's not Kate.
K-E-N.
That's why. Yeah, because if you put the state initials, it would. Yeah.
I mean, if we want, I could put just a picture of KY Jelly up there if y'all want. I mean,
I was trying not to go there, bro. I was trying not to go there. So Kentucky,
if they would like me just to put UK, but no.
Gotcha. We ain't got no respect for UK, no way. Kentucky, so 31. And it took them a while to score. I watched that game late. And Southern Miss really got a squad. I'm interested to see what Southern Miss look like at the end of the year. They usually keep a defense. They usually keep a running game. So it took them a while, Kentucky, to get started and get rolling. And as you say, USC Junior, they don't deserve to be South Carolina?
No.
Or USC? Okay,
no.
Gotcha. So the home of Rocket Raheem Sanders, 23-19 against Old Dominion. And they damn near lost that game. I watched that game as well, too.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of people, I think, I don't know if they watched the game or they're just looking at stats, because we know a lot of people like to just look at stats and chime into things. But apparently it didn't bode too well for him. I'm pulling it up right now just to see. But a lot of people did say that South Carolina's offensive line is worse than Arkansas's was.
It was.
So
it really was.
He had 24 carries for 88 yards.
And it was tough 88 yards watching that dude struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. So I was like, damn, they line look worse than I did last year. But hopefully he can stay healthy and have a reasonable season with USC Junior, as you called him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the
Lord
week
knows
one.
KJ didn't have a good game.
I didn't even check on KJ. I didn't even see what they did.
They won 53-7, but he was 7 for 14 with 2 touchdowns and a pick. I know at halftime he was 3 for 9 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know he got stuffed at the goal line by New Hampshire, so that's why I was kind of like, whoa, dude. But his stat, 7 for 14. I think it was it was under 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. I think he had 80-something yards, 70-something yards rushing. But he got stuffed early on. A lot of that was at the end, towards the end of his game.
Okay. So, boom. That's week one scores in the SEC. Go ahead and hit that up. We can move forward with the next segment of the show. Get it off the screen. You about to go into it?
Yeah, I was just about to hop on into it. No, it's just, college football is here. There's going to be a bunch of randomness throughout the season. So there's a couple videos here. One is a great play that I think everybody should see. A lot of y'all probably have already. And then another one is, acting classes are now in session. So we will start off with, let's go with the interception.
Roll it.
Are you kidding me?
Hang on, let's restart.
First down, Barnes. Barnes wants to go deep, and good coverage.
Whoa!
Are you kidding me? Holy smokes. That Carter.
Look, I had to watch this twice.
It'll show
give me
Brady.
another. There we go. Give me a replay. There we go.
See, I thought that was a receiver. That's
Oh,
a defensive
no.
back.
Wow.
That's
Oh.
DB.
Oh my God.
Oh,
First of all,
he went up in the air.
He went up
Dude.
in the air.
Yeah, he
There was-
snagged that shit.
there was one just a little bit ago, the LSU game. The USA receiver caught one between two LSU defenders that looked kind of like Odell Beckham, kind of like that, the one-handed.
Gotcha.
And
And then this
pretty nice.
one is, let's test your acting skills.
Oh, this one's awesome.
Hey, watch the lineman, though. Watch the lineman. Watch the lineman. Give him CPR. Hey. Somebody said in one of the other groups I'm in, somebody been watching too much LeBron James. I said, dang.
I mean,
Block it.
stuff like that should get penalized.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But hey, it's good for football. It's good entertainment. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be talking about it right now. So that was a nice little situation. Before we go into what we have, I do want to mention something, and I'll jump into that other part later. I'm looking at a comment here, Adam, and it may make more sense to you. Brad said, I'm going to be pissed if DirecTV doesn't work out this mess with Disney, ESPN, and ABC. You had some thoughts on that, huh?
Yeah, so where's the button? So there's going to be a bunch of, but we're not going to do all that. So yeah, this is another one of those that right before something kicks off, one of the satellite companies usually, here's some big contract dispute, right? But usually it seems like I feel like it's been Fox or CBS more than anybody. But here we go. It was 15 minutes before kickoff, the USC LSU game. I flip it over. It's not on. Start looking. Sure as shit, their contract's expired. So all I know is Arkansas and Oklahoma State play Saturday on ABC, and the shit better get figured out before then.
Right.
I mean, in the meantime, if I have to, I'll just go get some rabbit ears and go that route since it's ABC local channel.
Right.
But it's just ridiculous that they pull this shit and they wait till 15 minutes before kickoff of a primetime game to say, gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha, bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got you. Yeah, I get it. It makes a lot of sense to be pissed off about it. They need to figure that crap out. At the end of the day, this is all about money. So I hope they figure that thing out so the fans can be able to support their teams and watch them on TV. A lot of times we're on ABC. We should have been on CBS anyway. I don't even know how they came up with these contracts. I think it's the Big 12, Big 10.
Now it's a
Ohio
Big
State.
10. Big 10's on CBS now. It all had to do with ABC, Disney, ESPN taking over. I mean, it worked out a deal with SEC, so more money.
Yeah.
And so then that was what, because I think the Big 12's on like CW or some bullshit.
Damn.
Or not, maybe not. I think no, Big 12 is like Fox Sports and stuff. But one of the conferences are dealing with like CW and some of the other little weird channels.
That's wild. That's wild. Y'all want to go straight into it? You want to do it? Can we do it? I got to do it. Okay, so we going straight into Arkansas game 1 versus Arkansas Pine Bluff at War Memorial Stadium. Now, before we even get into this, Mr. Hart, I want to talk to you about the conditions of War Memorial Stadium. Now, I wasn't there, so I can't speak on it. And it
we
seems
need Teresa's input too.
Okay, Teresa was there. Teresa was there. She posted a lot of pictures. Shout out to Miss Teresa for that. But I said this jokingly before the season even started. It's going to be a BYOW situation. Bring your own water. I was just making a joke. But here we go again. I'm signed up for the new provider, F-Direct TV. I understand that, Brad. All right, Hart, what you got in regards to War Memorial Stadium and the conditions?
Tailgating beforehand, it's nothing like it used to be. It was a Thursday. The golf course, I would say, would have been about a quarter to a third full. Let's see, the little track across the street or right in front of War Memorial, where there's a lot of tents and stuff. It was maybe a quarter full. It was nothing like it used to be. Gotcha. But it was, the attendance was surprising though. Seeing the people that did turn out, there was quite a few people there. It was more than I expected. Went to the Buzz tailgate over behind the gas station. Saw Miss Teresa there.
Shout out to the Buzz.
That was a good time. Talked to some of the personalities there at the radio station, and then went on and walked around and made the tour. Everything looked good. Met some nice people, and it was a good time. As far as the game, I did not go to the game. I had to be up at 4:30 in the morning. I was asleep by the end of the third quarter.
Gotcha.
So I did not go, but I heard the water was fine. There was an issue as far as the inside the media and stuff. They had to deal with no plumbing, no water, and an AC being turned on just a couple hours before the game, supposedly. So it was really hot in there. Just another screw up, not thinking ahead as far as that goes, but that's fixable as opposed to, not having water. That's not fixable at the time. But it was a good showing as far as I'm concerned, and I wish there had been some more people there, but it was a decent turnout. It was more than what I honestly thought there would be.
I think they said it was like 41, 327 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And that could have been purchased tickets. I don't even know if that was butts and seats, but
it probably actual, but
yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, I will say this, and it's like this with most games. If it's not like a afternoon, evening game, like in Fayetteville or something, and we've seen it in Bud Walton Arena even, that start time happens and it's kind of like not that a lot of fans there, or it doesn't look like that. And then as the game progresses, it gets more and more. So I figure too, they're dealing with a 6:30 game. Some people are getting off work and then going to it, so they showed up later. So I will give them that.
And they didn't scan all the tickets. It happened to me last time, and I'd heard people saying that. And the heat was a big issue. I saw an older gentleman walking with his grandson to the game. He was across the street walking by the bank, and he fell out. Me and a buddy ran over there to help him up. As soon as he stood up, he said it was okay. He fell out again, and we had to get him a chair to sit in and get him some water and sit. I was afraid he did more damage to his body, like possibly broke a leg or something, the way he fell. But the heat was definitely rough on a lot of people, and so that was definitely probably a factor in the attendance.
Yeah, I heard some comments about the water fountains, and I don't know who's drinking out of water fountains since COVID, but whatever. Water fountains and plumbing issues. Now, when you got that many adults eating hot dogs and burgers, you need proper plumbing. You see what I'm saying? And I can just imagine
let's think
what
about
happened at the softball.
Some of the Arkansas media members. We know they're probably a little up there in age.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was quite an issue with not having a restroom.
Look, I would have hate to been the staff that cleaned up Wolf Morgan. I'm sure it was all kind of cups filled up with not Mountain Dew because they sell Coke products. So I could just imagine what that looked like. Let me jump into Miss Teresa coming real quick before we jump into this game recap. She said the seats are high school style, bench style, are awful. The tunnel area is awful, no airflow. If continue, need to really update, date on up and block windows and seating. Definitely understand that. We've been saying this for a while. They need to stop this. Take all that money that you spend on travel, occupying the space, concessions, renting out the venue, and spend that on NIL, and just keep players and host recruits in Fayetteville.
Well, I think because of, they need to, but I think like War Memorial is supposed to be the one keeping up with it. It's owned by the Parks Department. They're supposed to be the ones that are paying this money. It's not the universities too.
The Park and Rec
yes.
for the city?
That's the Park and Rec.
That's bullshit. I would love to know what that budget looks like. So I know we're in voting season. We don't really talk politics and sports. But y'all need to figure out who the hell in charge of that in Little Rock. Somebody need to figure that out. Whoever's over Park and Rec, they budgeting all that money and riding real clean and living real good. That's all I'm saying. Let me get into this game because I got some shit I want to get off my chest. I got some positives, and I'm petty like Adam, so I got some pettiness, right? Let me go into my whole little spiel about what I saw in the game, the 70-0 game. First thing I saw, we threw the ball in the first play, deep.
Did you notice the play?
The who?
Did you notice what the play was?
I think I know.
It was the
Was
Ryan Mallett to
Ryan
Kobe
Mallett?
Hamilton.
Okay,
It
so
was that play, but we didn't land it.
and I went on YouTube and looked at some Taylor Green tape from Boise State.
Mhm.
That whole little play action pass, that's all Ryan Mallett. If you go back and watch it, it's all Ryan Mallett. Like Ryan Mallett had one of the smoothest play action pass you ever want to see. And I see he was really trying to add it to his game. So went deep on the first play, loved it. Number 22, Jaquindon Jackson, grown ass man, dog. That's a grown ass man, dog. I'm talking about to be that big, to catch the ball out the backfield, to hit the hole with authority, to lower his pass on somebody, to jump cut in the hole, to spin off a defender. That's an NFL running back. I like his style, man. I really like his style. And most importantly, the best play of the game. He scored a touchdown and waved at the UAPB cheerleaders. That's what I'm talking about. That was one of the best plays of the damn game. That man said, look, I don't see a lot of them in my practice. Yeah, either way, I loved it. I loved it. Okay. I love that. I also love the fact that I got a chance to see my quarterback. I got a chance to see my second string quarterback, Singleton. Singleton got in the game and was decisive with the ball. He snapped it. He knew where he was going, delivered the ball quick, fast. I also like the way he set his feet in the pocket. His footwork is nice. I like to see him do what he did. Play action, boom, RPO, run that thing. I like to see that. I like the fact that I seen Luke Haas doing some blocking. He's a dog. I like that. I like Petrino calling plays with the offensive line pulling. I definitely like that to see the big boys out in space, clearing space for the guys that's carrying the ball. You got what's your guy name you went to school with? Terrell Reed, that's his name?
Dino.
Yeah, Dino. There may be your son out there. Terrell Reed in the fourth quarter. I said, who the hell is dude? I felt like no diss to the Boomers, but you know how the Boomers are like, let me get one of those programs. Who was number? Let me fix my glasses. I was like, who the hell is this running back? Hey, dude was nice. He was nice.
Rodney Hill.
No.
Reed. Oh, the other
Reed.
Reed. Yeah.
Reed was nice. It was great to see Nico do his thing, being from the crib.
They could not. I mean, Nico and Eric Gregory just had themselves a day. Seeing Eric Gregory, as big as he is, splitting defenders that were that much smaller than him was beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm not big on Gregory because I'm like, he's been here too long not to be a star. But I had to give some appreciation for what he did in the game. Nico did his thing. Coach made him a captain. Great call on that. Seen the Little Rock guys in there, Blass County guys getting there to do their thing. What's his name? Rodney Hill, that's his name?
Rodney Hill.
Rodney Hill. Let me find out you've been watching some damn what's my guy name? Fred Taylor tape. You've been watching some Fred Taylor tape. I see you. I like the way the young man hit the hole. I like the way he got loose. Even though being small in stature, he was physical. I love to see that. Who else? Of course, you've seen Brandon Russell. And that dude gonna be nice. He gotta stay healthy, but he gonna be nice. Guys is bouncing off of him. I hope we continue to have a rotation of backs like that. I got a chance to see KJ Jackson.
That's what I was waiting to see that.
Dude, I was like, wait a minute. We get a chance to see a third string quarterback. That's what I'm talking about. Run the score up because you can, because you need to.
Speaking of.
Obviously, don't go and do that. Please.
Hey, you do whatever you like.
We can't condone anything of the sort.
No, we can't. Live!
Obviously.
Yeah.
Look,
because I know some people didn't like them running up the score, but
don't give a damn.
Nope.
Because this is the thing. When you getting your ass whooped in the middle of the season, SEC play, you need to go back and remember this game. Go back and remember this game. Like, I understand the conversation that was in the comments. Well, you can't take them 70 points to you in the SEC play. That was by the coach of UAPB. I also seen people saying we shouldn't even play the game. The way the game started, fumble, throwing the ball behind receivers. You needed this damn game. I don't care who the opponent was. You need to play somebody else. And in the post presser, a lot of things the guys saying, I'm glad to play against somebody else. They needed that game, regardless of what you feel about it. What else did I like? Before I forget, I don't know, these were GAs on the sideline. I seen a green and a blue Razorback damn jacket, and I got to figure out where to get it at. Then was the I like that.
It's because I don't want to, sealing signs. You don't know who the signs are coming from.
Gotcha. Well, I like what I saw when I saw that. Who else? I like Satania. So he was getting open. He was catching the ball. I got him involved.
Who was it that screwed up his punt return for a touchdown?
Oh, Jaden Johnson.
Yeah.
Number 8. Somebody tell Jaden Johnson I'm on your ass. Pause. You've been doing this every year, man. Every year you come with this shit. You've been playing too long in a starter to keep making these mental mistakes. Son, you are undisciplined. You need to run some damn heels and some bear crawl. That's what we used to do in high school. But
bear crawl, belly flop.
I digress. All that good stuff, man. Dude, you too grown for this. Blocking people in the back when that man could have returned the damn kick. We needed that. So I'm just like, and he got burnt. I didn't forget that. Y'all didn't see number 17 get burnt, did you? Bloop. That's my boy. That's my boy, Blue.
Well, that one time.
Wait a minute. The one time at band camp? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, my boy, honey. I'm forget something. Bobby Petrino with the motherfucking shades on. Hey, I loved it. I don't know if the sun was out or the sun was hitting that sideline, but Bobby Petrino with shades on, he was the coolest dude on the field. I love to see that. He was swagged up, sauced up. He had on his readers in the second half. Either way, he was calling the hell out them plays. Shout out to Bobby M.F. Petrino, man. He is the guy. What else did I see? Coach Pittman was so cool. He was so cool, so calm. I like his demeanor. I loved his leadership on the sideline. Coach T. Will doing his thing. Shout out to Coach T. Will and Bobby Petrino.
Belts.
Hey, man, look, at the end of the day going to end. And that man, they ended it with a 0 on the scoreboard with third stringers in there. I seen Hunter Yurchek's son in the game. So that was nice to see. I know I'm missing something. I'll think about it in a second. But go ahead, and I'm sure I'll think about whatever else I said I liked about the game. But there's a lot that I like. Because I'm Adam, I'm petty, and I'm like Adam. I'm petty.
You know, there's good and bad. Obviously, the game was great. It was good to see them get to the third string quarterback. See, literally almost everybody who had the opportunity. You know, it's when you get down to the third string, it's like if you didn't get to play in a game like this, you're not going to play the season, period. Like, just go ahead and collect your red shirt and just practice squatted up. But to see these guys get in and get playing time, you know, I expected to just see Malachi Singleton. I didn't expect to see KJ Jackson. I was elated to see. I was so glad to see him just because he's one that I think is possibly going to be in that mix. I still think it's Malachi Singleton after Taylon Green. And, you know, Taylon Green's only a junior, so he's still got another year. Right. But KJ Jackson's one that I've been looking forward to seeing. Who is the linebacker from Hoover? Bradley Shaw. You know, his name was called early. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys that we talked about in the preseason, we weren't really sure where they would be, but they were on some of our lists. I mean, seeing them actually get playing time, whether they started or not, because, you know, I know somebody else did HUD play. You know, they decided to start TJ Metcalf instead of HUD, but they still got in. Everybody got in. Right. So it's one of those things in those positions where you've got 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, you're going to rotate. Even though there's a starting running back per se, we may see Debinion start over Jaquindon, but it doesn't mean he's not going to be on third play.
Because if we know what we've heard in the offseason, Coach Pittman said we're going to embrace the hog. Coach T. Will said we don't have starters, we have standards. And if you uphold those standards, then you will see the field. So it doesn't matter if you start the game or you come in and get significant playing time. If you understand it, then you will get in the game. I'm glad you mentioned the young man you were talking about.
Bradley Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw. He a dog. Number 10, the young man from Tennessee, linebacker.
Danico Slaughter or Xavion Sorey.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Georgia.
Sorry was all over my damn screen. When I tell you that man was sideline to sideline, I love to see that. We got linebackers with speed who can cover guys. I know we played who we played, but I'm excited to see guys that have speed that can actually, when we go in SEC play, can cover these tight ends and these guys in the slot and actually make plays. So I was loving to see him all over my screen. I think they said 83 out of 92 got to play. Absolutely, Mr. Tidwell. So, yeah, Coach Pittman said that in his presser. How about Singleton's reps?
I mean, 8 for 10. He, like you said, he was decisive. He moved. It was one of those things. He worked through his reads. one thing that we saw early with Taylon Green, which he got better as his game went on, but Taylon Green just was really locking in on a receiver, especially early on. And Malachi was just boom, boom, and the ball was released. He knew he was one or two spots, ball was out. He wasn't staring anybody down. He knew where the ball was going to go. He knew where somebody needed to be. It was just snap decisions. Yeah. Now, granted, yes, you're playing UAPB, but the thing is he hadn't gotten to play in 2 years.
Correct, because his senior year he was hurt.
And then you had dealing with Criswell last year. I mean, he moved to third string.
I think that was pretty much everything I liked about the game. It was a lot to see. Being petty, I didn't like what's my guy's name? Taylor. I didn't like Taylor's footwork. I didn't like it. I was not impressed with his footwork. I felt like he kind of threw off his back foot, KJ style. I felt like he didn't have his feet planted and set and delivered the ball, squared up his shoulders and made a decision. So I feel like that's one thing I'm sure Coach Petrino saw and they'll put on some tape.
Well, and like that first play of the game, I mean, he just had nothing underneath it. He's lucky it didn't get picked off.
Now, against the SEC opponent, that shit going back the other direction. Once again, people say they didn't play their game. They need to play their game so he can really get in his groove, get confident in that first throw. The fact that Petrino put in 3 quarterbacks and their first play was a pass, I was just like, I love it. We've been waiting on this for so long. So I was excited to see those things.
3 quarterbacks and you finished as a team or as all 3, 28 for 37 for 408 yards out of those 3. 2 touchdowns, which were by Taylon Green. Rushing, you had 33 attempts for 279 yards, 8.5 yards with 8 touchdowns.
And we made history. We made history in regards to 10 possessions, 10 touchdowns. It's never been done. Bob Petrino, like somebody mentioned in the comments a couple weeks ago in summer sessions, talked about Bob Petrino's offensive play calling is every bit of 10 to 14 points of some of that nature, as people would say. But you can clearly see the impact that was made in regards to, and even in one of his last presses, Petrino said to ask him about the kicking game. So do you watch the kickers? He was like, we don't watch kickers. We're not worried about kicking. Now I see he was talking that shit, and he knew what he had. So I was excited to see that.
One thing that was missing, I think, is we obviously saw that there was a lot of mid-range passing game, which is good because I think we've missed it over the years.
Correct.
But we couldn't go deep. That's what she said. But anyway.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice, though, seeing the first play trying to go deep. Jordan Anthony's going to be a deep threat. I mean, we already know about Centennia. Stop it. But Jordan Anthony's got elite track speed. He's going to be used like that a lot. It was good to see that Bobby went for it with every quarterback in this. He kept running the offense, and that's what you would want. And we were tired of them shutting it down, like we had talked about, and handing the ball off the last 30 plays of the game and not getting your backup quarterback any reps. And next thing you know, your quarterback gets hurt and he has no experience. Yeah. So it was good to see that. The offensive line did really well, in my opinion. They did what they were expected to do. Manhandle UAPB's inferior D-line. The defensive line, I was talking to my buddy this morning, and he thinks that our D-line could be top 5 in the SEC. And, I mean, so far it was UAPB, but so far they could be living up to the hype. And I've been saying that I thought the linebackers would be much improved and be able to cover all sides of the field. If they can stay healthy, that's going to be it. Defensive backs are going to be our issue. I think our cornerbacks are pretty average. Our safeties could need a little help because it was unnerving because we did give up one play if the quarterback's toe didn't hit the sideline.
Who was the defender? You remember? Any chance you remember who the defender was?
I do not remember. It wasn't Hudson. I know that.
I think it was number 8.
It was number 8.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. Fucking Jaden Johnson. I said what I said.
Hey, Jaden, if you're watching over on Twitter or X, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, talking about you, sir. Please feel free to shut me the hell up in this next game, sir. I will be delighted for you to do so. Matter of fact, When you get an interception or you get a pass breakup, I want you to point at the camera. I know that's at me. I dish it out because I can take it. Pause. But you know what I'm saying. So dig that.
It was we did what we were expected to do. Taylor Green, yeah, he didn't set his feet right. He dropped. Petrino's been working on getting his arm angle more overhand as opposed to 3/4 side that he likes to do. And some of his bad passes, especially when rushed, that's when he was dropping his arm down and making errant throws. But the pass to Ty Washington was on the money, and that's something we were not getting with KJ in the last few years.
Glad you brought that up.
I bet you won't roll it. That's when we're supposed to play.
Play action.
Roll out.
Left, Green. Drops it right in on the run. Best drive of the night for Taylor Green. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Hey, man. I was glad to see the young man back healthy, Washington, in the game. I seen Gums in the game. We've been hearing about these guys for so long. I honestly need a program to figure out who the hell I'm watching. Jukaj.
Mm-hmm.
To see a number 4 on defense, on the defensive line running like he was running after the quarterback, that was interesting to see for me. It was just so much that I took from the game. And it was very, very much so interesting, intriguing game to watch these guys. All the interviews we've heard, the press we heard about these guys making plays and being impactful, and their progression from spring to fall, and actually seeing it on the field, put into play. So I love what I saw from the guys. You were talking about defense, Hart, and I do want to say this one thing that I almost forgot to say that I enjoyed. Ian Gerard. His name is Ian Jafar. He's a defensive tackle. That's his name. Okay. I don't know how tall he is, but dude about 380. When I tell you he was eating up holes like donuts, he was plugging. Okay. Guys are being guys. Sorry. So immature. Look, he was defending 2 guys just by his size alone. He has a lot of girth since we're there. A lot of girth. Yeah, he took up a lot of space. He took up a lot of space. But I like to see him. I hope he gets more reps. I hope he gets more conditioning so that he can continue to play and be an asset during the year. I was very impressed with the defensive front. And that was just another level of play.
Brian, who are you giving a thumbs down to right now?
Hey, Brian, what's wrong, Brian? Are you upset? It doesn't matter. A lot of girth. All right, look.
Yeah, we've gone off the rails here.
Yeah, at this point. All right, so boom.
Here's another play to get us back in. All right, y'all ready? This is the play I think if everybody enjoyed.
He's going to help us win some ball games this year. Green escapes the sack. Decides to tuck and run. Showing off the wheels once again. Makes 2-man miss. Taylor Green trying to get to the end zone. He does! Wow.
Coach Pittman said in the presser, he can run. We want him to be a passer, but when he needs to run, he can run. And we definitely got a chance to see his escapability. I do see the comparisons to Matt Jones, the long stride, pulling away from guys. So that was definitely good to see from him. I would like, and I'm leery. I just want him to protect his body. That's all. He didn't go all KJ on us, but I would like to see him protect himself. I would like to see him slide, all those things. But he definitely did a great job once he got his feet up under him and grasped the concept of the offense within the game. I think he did a great job of executing the offense by Petrino. So that was good to see. And the offensive tackles did a great job. I seen Marion Harris, when they put in the second group, he was rotated to tackle. So that was interesting to see get the experience. Because Coach understands these guys got to get experience in different positions and game time reps so that they can be effective down the line if they have to make a move during SEC league play. So that's definitely going to be key in that regard. I do want to jump into some of these comments real quick. Adam Reams, he said, talked about Friday night. He said Kane Archer. Anybody see Kane Archer? Kane Archer was 25 for 29, 287, and 11 rushes for 111 yards. They won 70-35, and he didn't play in the fourth quarter. Hey man, I'm just interested to figure out where he signs because we know his
And
brother.
where's Cash's scholarship at?
Because Cash has not got a scholarship, and we speak about family so much on the Hill in regards to recruiting, and with the Metcalf brothers and the Hash brothers, it's just the Morgans. It's different. Henrys. It's so many family members that we had on the team together, and Metcalfs. So it's just interesting to figure out why the young man has not received an offer, and even if it is one of those, hey, we're gonna take you just to get him situations. I think we've seen that with Hash. So. I'm okay with that. I don't have an issue with it.
Kane's hype has taken a little bit of a hit because everybody was expecting him to be a 5-star, and he's a 3-star, I want to say right now, maybe a 4-star on one or two of them. So that's been a little bit of the issue with that. He still put up numbers, but I think he's only 5'10", so 5'10", 5'11", so that's not going to translate well to a lot of people because they like the metrics and everything.
He's on 24/7. He's 3-star. He's listed at 6 feet and a half inch, 205. But I remember distinctly seeing pictures at a camp, and this is before Ryan Mallett passed, of him standing next to Ryan Mallett. Now, granted, I'm not saying Kane Archer was 6'7" like Mallett was, but he wasn't 6 foot in that picture. I mean, just their height differential wasn't too terribly much. I think Kane's taller than he's listed out across the board.
Anybody ever heard of Johnny Manziel? Anybody ever heard of Kyler Murray?
Who?
Drew Brees.
Kyler Murray. Yeah.
Kyler Murray. I thought you said calamari.
All I'm saying is, and I won't go all the way left, his height is not. If the offensive line is blocking for him, and he's put up these stats, he can still get in shotgun and get behind 6'4", 6'5" offensive linemen and sling the ball and distribute the ball in the field. So I'm not really concerned about his height. At the end of the day, I want him to get off from Arkansas.
And he's 15 years old?
Yeah. So it is what it is. Looking at some more of these comments, David Pearson said, taking away the opponent, I thought the offensive line looked good as far as how they move and how in sync they were. Absolutely. Definitely a lot of cohesion on the offensive line that was spoke about all offseason. Logan says, shout out to Logan. Like Saban said, you can pay what you want, but if you don't have the right guys, you're out of luck. Absolutely. Sarah Walton says, go Notre Dame.
She's been a Notre Dame fan forever for some reason.
I won't follow for her. I'm sure it's one of the same reasons that Porter picked Clemson. I'm sure it's like some family connection. But I digress, Porter. I digress. In regards to watching the game and the ABC shenanigans, Logan says, just switch to YouTube TV. Mr. Reese said, Fire Stick people, never have to worry about anything in regards to YouTube TV. Gotcha. That was the comment about Archer. Corey says, I know this about the Hogs, but did y'all catch the A-State game last night? Did not.
Yes. They shouldn't have. So they're playing UCA, mind you, University of Central Arkansas.
Alma mater.
And they threw what ended up being the game-winning touchdown. He didn't catch the ball, or it wasn't in bounds. Refs called it a touchdown. It should not have been a touchdown. Arkansas State should have lost to Central Arkansas.
Wow.
So with the foot that they were showing, like one of the angles that the Arkansas State photographer took, great. Yeah, his foot was down. He didn't have possession of the ball. And so it's one of those things that, I don't know, it was terrible. They shouldn't have won the game.
I don't think that's the reason why Arkansas don't want to play Arkansas State, but you're gonna get it. So Matt, absolutely. Matt, Mr. Reese said that's why they put her in the beer tent, because it was so hot. Yeah, right, Mr. Reese, but you're a grown woman, so you can do
You had a good spot.
Absolutely. No, Mr. Reese get the VIP treatment anytime she pop out. LC Junior 501. They should build a stadium in Hot Springs. And that would be dope.
But
I feel go ahead. I know it's coming. Go ahead.
But that's another game that we're not playing in Fayetteville.
Great point. I thought you were going to speak on the Oakland situation.
Oh, no. I mean, fuck Oakland at this point.
At this point, Brad Stanton, I'm glad you brought this up because I was going to forget it. Arkansas freshman receiver Monte Harrison is a grown-ass man.
When he shoved that play.
Dog, he drove dude and made him sit on the bench. Said, sit your ass down. Hey, that's a grown-ass man, dog.
Hey, but you know what? Respect to him then after the game, having that moment in the middle
With
of the
his son.
field with his son.
That was dope. And I felt like that was a moment that kind of got passed over amongst everything that happened. I think that's one of those situations where you'll never see. Well, I won't say you'll never see. It's not one of those things on the stat sheet. The way that he operates in a locker room with younger guys, the way that they watch him, he's not too far removed. I'm sure he's admired by some by playing in the big leagues and having an opportunity to play on the pro level. The way he handles his business and dealing with his family and his school situation. So that's definitely big to have him in the locker room, man. I was glad he was able to get active and get some catches. And I'm glad they didn't make a big deal on the broadcast about, oh, it's a 29-year-old freshman. But he did his thing. So I definitely was glad to see that. Is their job to stop? Yeah, you're right. I felt it's their job to stop. Okay, got it. Jamie, you can tell those that will probably not play much not to score when they have a chance. Absolutely. I said before the season started, an old quote by Steve Spurrier. People say we like to run up the score. The third string quarterback mama's in the stands. She came to watch her son play. And it's my job to put him in the game. So I definitely understand that.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Michelle here. Did Hornsby play any for Arkansas State, for those that didn't know? He had one catch for 4 yards.
So he did all that and ended up moving to receive any damn way?
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Before I go left with the normal response, I just want to say this. We've all been 17, 18, 19, 20 before. And I can guarantee you, no matter where you're from, the conditions you grew up in, the environment you grew up in, you made some decisions you probably shouldn't have made. You probably weren't the most well-informed at a young age. No matter how much your parents gave you guidance, I'm sure you stepped outside the box and did what the hell you wanted to do and made some mistakes. So I understand these are young people, and that's why, like, in my job, I work with a lot of young guys, and I try to get them guys and say, if I know what I know now and I can give it to you, I hope that you would make better choices. So I'm not going to knock anybody, not just him. A lot of guys who hit the portal and didn't have the best conditions, best situations going forward. But, I mean, as young people, we all make mistakes. So hopefully at some point he gets together. Mr. Reese said, I have to say, even though it was Pine Bluff, not one QB through third string kept the pedal to the metal. Malachi's play, I think, was a little sharper than Green's. Absolutely great take. With that being said, KJ Jackson made me grin. The future. The fact that he's left-handed, I forgot he was left-handed, bro. I was like, oh, snap. O-line looked better. Sure didn't miss fourth and short with the running game. And Sid nonsense. Yep. Tesla made a circus catch. I'm glad you mentioned that, too. People forgot about it. But, I mean, one of the highlights they talked about in his recruiting was he makes great one-hand catches. He definitely made that down the seam. So, and it was a great idea by Petrino to put him in the slot because he doesn't have top-end speed to play on the outside and go against SEC defenders. So that was a great idea by that. Do we need to improve? Oh, yes. But I saw a solid foundation to build on. Absolutely great tape. Absolutely great tape.
I mean, for those going that I've seen, like, oh, it was just UAPB. Oh, where'd he go? There you go.
Go ahead.
Oh, but it was just Western Carolina last year, and we saw the issues. Huh?
Okay, go ahead.
But Western Carolina last year, game one, we saw.
Now I can't hear you.
Oh my God! Is it your mic?
Oh, hold on. It's on.
Are you sure?
I hear you.
Keep going. Keep going.
He can hear me. I think you need to change your audio settings. Well, we can hear you.
Yeah. You can close out and come back in. That's what I have to do sometimes.
Guess that's what he's doing. Well, hey, everybody. How's it going? While he's doing this, I will play this video that we've overlooked. So I know there was a mix-up. This was UAPB that played the Cody Rhodes theme song, which for those of you that don't know, Cody Rhodes is a wrestler and the undisputed, whatever champion in WWE. it got passed along as being Arkansas's band, and it was not. It was UAPB. It even got picked up by WWE on SmackDown on Friday night. They were credited with it, but it was not Arkansas. It was Pine Bluff. And here we go. So yeah.
Okay. We're back.
Hey, we can hear you.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was pretty dope with the whole WWE situation.
You just want to give
but
credit
guess-
where credit's due.
You got to. You got to. Speaking of credit and people that help us out, of course, the show is brought to you by Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football, from preseason football, NFL, college kickoff. Bet Online is every stat, every matchup, and every live odds spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get on to the winner circle and get over $300,000 NFL survivors pool for the upcoming season, because you know what's about to happen. NFL is on the way. When the game's finished, head on to our online casino and get in on our online games of blackjack, poker, and online with one of our 150 slot games. Head over to the website today. Use promo code BLEAV. Adam, how do you call it?
Believe.
That part.
BLEAV.
Yeah, and get in on the action. It's Bet Online. The game starts here.
I was just going to check. So LSU's up 16-13 in the third. If my counting is correct, me and DP are in the lead in our WooPig Pick'em.
And
With
they're
Matt
gonna
picking
make
A&M
it $1 million
Porter picking
baby.
Clemson, which we all knew that was going to be a loss.
Yeah. Now I knew by us picking the Hog Pick'em. When we gonna post it tomorrow?
We'll
Once
post
everything's
I'll
done?
I'll just post them tonight after this game ends, and then week 2 we'll be adding 3 NFL games to it, so you'll have the Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night football games on there. Rather
Gotcha.
than worrying about different matchups, we're just going to go with the primetime games. So yes, I will be having to pick Baltimore to beat Kansas City.
Ooh, you gonna make Mr. Reese mad now.
Hey, they beat them in the regular season. They don't beat them in the playoffs. It is what it is.
Justin Nunn, you said number 81 on special team was always putting a hat on someone. Let me know who number 81 is. Shout out to Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson is in the group of Hog HQ. His son, which is JJ Hollisworth, was in the game. So we seen JJ doing his thing. Shout out to you, Jay, and your son and your family for being there supporting your son, man. It was great to see him out there on the field.
81 is the tight end, Paskey.
Gotcha.
Like the blocking tight end that transferred from Michigan or northern Michigan, eastern Michigan, somewhere, central Michigan.
Yeah. Logan, great point. Love seeing the offensive line make the right plays. I don't even think we had one holding call. I know it's UAPB, but that's still hard to do. Absolutely. The penalties, the lack of penalties was a great showing.
They had a few plays that they were in their heads, I guess you could see. Like there were some flags, but it was one of those things that they cleaned up, like we talked about. They need to clean up as the game would go on. How are you going to come back from a boneheaded play?
Gotcha. Jamie said, I did like seeing the O-line getting downfield and blocking. Like I said, seeing those guys come around that edge in the pulling game and the run game was very dope. I definitely enjoyed that. Hunter says the Hogs played very well Saturday or Thursday. It was UAPB, so they was expected to win. But it was nice for us to get out and handle business like we're supposed to. I'm glad you made that comment because a lot of times, and no shade to you, sir, but we talk about teams we're supposed to beat. And also Hart mentioned earlier, they did what they were supposed to do. Anybody remember Western Kentucky?
Carolina?
Western Carolina? Anybody remember the punt? Anybody remember the punt where the dude stood still? And then he took off and ran, and it was all over.
Like North Texas.
North Texas.
Once again, these are all schools we're supposed to do what we're supposed to do. So it doesn't always happen. And I'm just glad to see what we saw. Sometimes we get short in the memory and forget a lot of these games. San Jose State, we played them over $1 million to come from California to Arkansas and whoop our ass at home. People forgot. I don't forget. I got receipts. So we're supposed to beat those teams. I definitely understand what you're saying and what people are saying. But at the same time, it hasn't always been that way. But as you guys alluded to, I was definitely excited to see Arkansas Pine Bluff do their thing.
Just the size differential in this, I laughed at.
They had 50 dudes come in via transfer, and they didn't get them to June. So they were still trying to figure out each other's name at this point. But that's just not my problem. That's
I will say too, which Arkansas declined the penalty, but it's ridiculous that UAPB was going to be penalized 15 yards for not wearing contrasting uniforms.
Yeah. Gotcha. I do want to get to a comment that Logan made, and Logan's making great points. Because if I forget stuff, Logan seems to be in my head and think what I'm thinking. Hey, if the quarterbacks and receivers could catch, it would have been a game for a minute there. Our DBs worried me a little because they had some wide open players dropping the football. So I'm not super excited in that aspect. Mr. Hart, you have something to say about that? Go ahead and chime in with the DBs.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I was saying earlier, their speed is lacking a little bit. I would say our cornerbacks are probably average SEC players. As far as safeties, that's where I'd have more concern, especially with Johnson. He doesn't seem to want to stick his head in there and make the play sometimes, or he is a little his timing's off. But the rest of the defense, I think, is going to be solid. I think it'll be our strength, especially up front. Our defensive line that could help mask some of the cornerback inefficiencies because they'll be able to get to the quarterback, hopefully. As far, like I said, linebackers, we should be good as far as that, but cornerbacks are the ones that if we start facing some really fast receivers, we could see some guys getting open, and that would be the concern. So that's where the defensive line really comes into play and needs to get home to the quarterback.
Corey said, what are y'all comments about them dropping the ball as soon as they get to the end zone and almost not get the touchdown?
They need to stop that shit. Is what that. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's been a thing for 20 years in football, and I don't understand it.
Deshaun Jackson used to do it.
Yep.
Like either go hand the ball to the ref, or do like Joe Adams used to do and just set the ball down and walk away.
Once, I'm so thankful for all y'all because all the stuff I was going to say, I keep forgetting. Did anybody else see when Taylor Green ran in and scored the touchdown and he did the call of Hogs? Did anybody recognize that?
I didn't notice it then, but I've seen a couple posts and pictures of it afterwards.
I have never seen a player do that for Arkansas. Never. That was dope. I mean, it just showed me, and I may be, let me choose my words wisely. I may be thinking too much into it because y'all so full of it. But it really shows me how bought in he is to the program and how happy he is to be an Arkansas Razorback coming from Boise State. What you about to say,
Are you saying he embraced the hog?
See? I'm sure you did well. I'm sure you did well at Pine Bluff High School. Yeah, in academics. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Well, I will say, like, I know the cameras were on him, but like post game, they put out the clip, which the whole thing was on Hogs Plus, but they put out the little like turn the damn jukebox on, like just Pittman talking to the team, like everybody get a knee, blah blah blah, talking to him, and then I guess before he yells that, and they go into their little. I'm not going to say chant because that's not really what it is, but they're yelling out pride. Like Pittman says something, they answer back. The call out, they answer back. I mean, the cameras were on Taylor Green. Don't get me wrong, but he's all in it. Like he's in the middle of it. He's yelling. You can tell. I mean, yeah, you just won 70-0, but in the moment, like he's the one that is putting himself like above to lead everybody.
Yeah, and he seems like a real team guy, not a us, not a me guy. And I think that's one thing, not naming names, that we didn't have the previous couple years at that position. And I think that's the difference in the belief of the team. Miss Teresa took a potty break. All right. This is way off, But anybody see the hog walk?
No.
Mm-mm.
These guys are finally wearing real suits. I love the dress, so to see these guys wearing real suits and having tailor-made suits on, that was exciting for me to see. Mr. Reese
Didn't they
said,
last year? Or was that just KJ?
that was just that they don't. Okay, it's different. Okay, for example, you're in the shoes, right, Adam?
Mm-hmm.
So people can buy shoes, but it's people who really put their shit on, as we say in the A, right? Like you can buy some shoes, but like you're really putting it on, if that makes sense. Like it's the difference between style, fashion, and just clothing, if that makes a difference. So putting pieces together. Mr. Reese said Pine Bluff Band was great. I definitely got a chance to see one of my guys do a live and show the Pine Bluff Band. And I guess this whole thing with Pine Bluff and Arkansas doing United on the Field, playing a song together is now a tradition. You know, they did the Michael Jackson last year. They should
Well,
do
I
the
thought
Whitney
that
Houston.
they weren't. I didn't know what was going to go on at halftime because I had heard talk that like they weren't going to let UAPB perform at halftime.
It's no.
I don't know if that. Which, let's be clear, if Pine Bluff is in a game, you need to put their band on the field.
Let me tell you something. Speaking for the black delegation, the African American, we go to the HBCU game and actually sit in the stands for halftime. It's the band. It's all about the band.
Some of y'all that don't know, just go watch the movie Drumline.
Gotcha. That's a great resource. It's a great resource. It's all about the band. Of course, you want to watch
if like forget Nick Cannon, but just the crowds.
Yeah.
Like the people that are going there to watch it, they're not there for the football game.
No. If you've been to some HBCU games, like I said, we get a chance to play HBCU. If you go watch two HBCU teams play each other, it's a whole different environment, and it is most definitely about the band. At Arkansas, people going to concession stands and grab another beer for halftime because it's like, unless your child is in the band. I mean, who's really watching the band? Unless you're maybe a band person.
Did you notice that they didn't play Hey Jude this time? The Arkansas band.
Mm-hmm.
They did not play it this time. Maybe they're finally listening.
You know what I did notice is they changed that stupid ass song in the commercial, "Dream On."
Oh, gotcha.
It's now the drum line, and they changed the commercial up.
Shout out to DJ Derek. DJ Derek, if you're watching, I think you updated your playlist. It's still 2010-ish, 2006. But as long as you don't start playing Usher, Yeah, and Boots with the Fur, we'll be good. Like, you give me something 2020s, and I think we'll be fine. Miss Teresa, I remember Citadel. Exactly, Miss Teresa. It happens. All right, boom. Got the comments in. Oh, I got a thing from this doggone Ring app, and all these alerts coming on the phone. Anyhow, we've been on here an hour and 7 minutes. We ain't saying nothing about Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is next on the schedule, and a lot of people are really worried about Oklahoma State. They're really saying that I really can't give a true perspective or prediction on the season until I see them play Oklahoma State. I do know their running back, he went off in the game. They scored 44 points and allowed the other team to score 20 points. So with us scoring 70, I'm looking like if we can at least score 35 points and keep this game close and be able to excel on third down and keep the guys on the field and have a fair exchange between offense and defense being on the field. What you guys think about Oklahoma State before we close out for the night?
You know, again, we're getting into the whole first game. San Diego, South Dakota State. It's good. Didn't they win the FCS last year? I believe.
Correct.
60-something game win streak or something or other. It was snap. They're a good team. They're great in the FCS. This is just the difference between FBS and FCS. There were things with Oklahoma State, the little bit that I watched, that I was just kind of like, I think that we have a pretty good shot. And, you know, this is one of those games that you're going to have to do the little things right to win. I don't know. I can't see them stopping our running game if the offensive line is holding up. Yes, they have Ollie Gordon, and yes, he is a great running back. They're, in my opinion, one-dimensional with Ollie Gordon. He doesn't really have a whole lot behind him to help. And we saw Thursday 3-4 different guys that can get the job done.
Yep.
So where they're solely relying on him, we've got a handful of guys that are going to keep coming at you in one way or another. That's what she said.
Hart, what you got? This motherfucker is out of control.
Our linebackers just need to fill the run gaps, be able to cover side to side and stop Ollie Gordon. I think they'll be able to do that for the most part. The only other thing that scares me, Oklahoma State's quarterback isn't that great. There was Brandon Preston, I think, is a receiver that we'll need to keep an eye on for Oklahoma State. Or Presley, something like that. I'm sure I'm butchering his name, but anyways, he's the guy that they'll be looking to throw it to most of the time if it ain't going to Ollie Gordon. So if we can kind of keep an eye on him, I think we'll be able to keep Oklahoma State in check. I think we'll be able to pull out a victory personally, and look forward to having another good week.
Adam, you got some stats you looking at over there?
I was just seeing the guy's name, Brennan Presley. He had 7 catches for 35 yards. They had one guy, Dejaun, DE''ZHAUN, Stribling, had 83 yards. Who knows?
So they didn't have one dominant receiver.
Theirs are 83, 81, 42, 30. I mean, it's one of those things that Arkansas didn't necessarily, but we also hit 14 or 15 different receivers, which is one thing we hadn't talked about. So no, they didn't have. I mean, 4 of their receptions were by Ollie Gordon. So it's one of those. He 25 of 34 for 267, 3 touchdowns. I mean, their total yards. When you look at the team stats. So team yards, Oklahoma State had 394. South Dakota State had 388. So it was 6 yards of difference.
Damn. So looking at Logan's comments, Oklahoma State played a very basic game plan. I don't trust what I see week 1 much.
Get that.
And I definitely get that. But I also will look at it from a standpoint and say we played on Thursday. They played on Saturday. We got a couple days advantage in regards to game planning. The other side of it is once you plug in your real offense, how fast can you adapt it on field versus an opponent? Because if you start slow and we start like we started this week, it's going to be a problem. It just means that we'll be up a couple more touchdowns than they will early in the first half. And that means that the second half will come along with a lot of in-game adjustments. So that'll be interesting to see. I think the Hogs definitely have a chance. I did have them preseason. We did a projection show last week. I did have them winning that game. Hart also had them winning that game. This dude over here, he's still going 3-9. But
I'm not going to change. Yeah, it's one of those things. My pick'em may be different.
Oh, okay.
But this is a game too that when y'all have gotten in my head somewhat with what I'm about to say is Oklahoma State historically starts slow. So that is Arkansas's benefit.
Hey, do you have that hashtag in the little machine where it says hashtag the more you know? Yeah, because that's a great one to use right now. See, Hart, do you see how we influence this gentleman? If you just come with stats and facts, things can happen. You know what, man? I like you, Adam, because you know what? You're a guy who's willing to learn and move and motivate and strategize. And now I'm just making up words. Either way, but I digress. All right, man. Look, we're getting silly. It is Labor Day weekend, man. I hope you guys have a great Labor Day weekend. I definitely have enjoyed myself this weekend. Did a little pampering. And before we get out of here, I know this gentleman over here has something to say.
Yeah. We got some hog news. We got some hog news. Want to let everybody know that I have heard through the grapevine, through my main source, that Patrick Kudus is still having lingering back issues and his return may not be as soon as expected. So he could return this week, but with lingering back issues, they may hold off on that because Lord knows I know, and that stuff it really affects you. So don't be surprised if Patrick Kudus is not playing this next week.
I said in the preseason prediction show that if I was to see Patrick Kudus come back after the Auburn game, I wouldn't be mad. I would rather have him 100% or 85 to 100% as opposed to trying to just put him on the field just to say we got another guy. So hopefully the offensive line can maintain what they have. The guys are getting meaningful reps in these games. This dude right here is petty. So hopefully that guy comes back when he's full strength in the offensive line and the coach, Coach Mateos and Pittman, have the ability to have guys that's on the roster that can make it happen. It's an hour and 14 minutes. It's Labor Day weekend. I do not have to go to work tomorrow. Y'all got to go to work tomorrow?
No, closed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, did a little pampering, got a little manicure, a little pedicure, because that's what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? Got to treat yourself. Health is, yeah, man. Hey, look, you call it what you like. I am not a barbarian, sir. I like to be pampered. Back rub, massages, hey, I liked it. You also don't wash your legs, so let's be clear.
What?
You heard the whole conversation. Wash rags, not wash rags. Soap. Don't wash my legs. We had a conversation off air. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Hope you get a chance to relax, spend time with family and friends. Cherish every day, because you never know how many you got left. And with that being said, we are out of here this week. Thank you guys for supporting us. Once again, we are always looking for sponsorships. If you guys are interested in being a sponsor for this show, we enjoy what we do. We enjoy you guys' comments and what you bring to the table in this aspect of doing this every Sunday. So once again, if you're interested in being a sponsor, please reach out to one of us via Facebook, YouTube, however you want to reach out to us, and we'll get the information to you. We do have some new numbers that came up this past couple of weeks, so we definitely got some new ratings to share with you guys. With that being said, we are out of here for another week. It's been a great show. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Once again, if you're on their YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Hit the notify me button so every time we go live, the thumbs up. I would like the thumbs up to go up to anybody that's still on with us right now. I definitely seen that number, but I didn't mention it today. So if you watching at this point, just hit the like button. Just hit the thumbs up. Every time you make a comment on YouTube, on Facebook, or you hit a like or hit a share, it definitely drives the channel. It definitely gets it to other people so they can see the programming. If you have someone in your family, friends, or in your network that you think will be interested in this content that we do on Sunday, please make sure to share it with them. If you watch it on a replay, make sure to chime into the comments. We will jump in and reply to you. With that being said, we are out of here. Drink a beer for me. I'm out.